And we're
It says
live.
LinkedIn
There
is
it
not
is.
approved. All right, well, we'll give it a
LinkedIn, we're
shot
not
anyways.
approved. Okay.
All right, well, then LinkedIn is not there, but all right. Well,
But we're going to be on
ladies and gents,
Facebook Live.
we're on Facebook Live and we're on YouTube Live, so that works. That works in our
And
favor.
there it is.
So there we are. So welcome to the well, I should just start it, huh? Welcome to another episode of
Business
Bros. What up,
Bros.
ladies and gentlemen? Hernan Cias. Look at my name's right there. Hernan Cias, host of the Business Bros podcast, where we are here to help you take control of your brand and your marketing through the power of podcasting. And I'm here with my co-host,
The insurance bro, even though that right there just says ham. But anyway, the insurance bro, James C.S. with Pipeline Insurance. Right there.
Boom.
With Pipeline Insurance, where we empower licensed professionals to effectively add insurance to their existing businesses. And I'm excited today, honestly. Like today is it's been such an interesting past few weeks for sure. There are, a lot of people out there who are not as fortunate as I am. I definitely count myself as blessed. I can move my computer, move my desk, move my office, move everything and work from home. Not everybody has that opportunity. And so there's a lot of people out there that are hurting. A lot of people out there that are hurting. And one thing that I did today, and maybe she'll catch this, maybe not. I nominated our favorite nonprofit. It's all about the kids, for a grant from one of our insurance carriers. So fingers crossed. Hopefully they get that grant. If they do, then that's 10 grand in their pocket.
That would be awesome, dude. What carrier is it?
It's Safeco Liberty Mutual.
Yeah, it's a good cause, dude. It's one of those things where it's helping tons of people that really need the help right now. So hopefully it works out, dude. That'd be super awesome.
I know.
And all you had to do was nominate. Is there any way, like, can people vote on it or anything, or is it just?
No, I don't think so. I just had to nominate them.
Nice. All right, and they're gonna evaluate and decide, and then pick. Do we know a date when we're gonna know by?
May 8th.
May 8th. So it's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Speaking of changes, dude. So, ladies and gents, we are live on multiple platforms at the same time, which is super awesome.
For the first time.
So we went from doing our calls via Zoom to coming over to StreamYard, mainly because I've been talking to some other podcasters in the space, trying to improve in our podcasting world and just educating ourselves so we can turn around and educate you guys, especially if you're interested in starting your own podcast. If you are, check this out, ladies and gents. Boom, we can throw on a little thing right there. Go ahead, grab your free mini ebook at www.businessbros.biz/podcast1. That's the development part of your podcast. So this is things like, what kind of show are you going to have? What cover art are you going to use? How do you get an RSS feed? Where are you going to host this podcast thing at? So all the things that you need, what mic you're going to use, what audio interface, what software, that sort of stuff. Everything you need to get started in podcasting is in that little free mini ebook, and it's free for you to grab. So go ahead and grab it. I'm in the process of videotaping all the coaching course material. So eventually that course is going to be automated, and then I get to shrink the price down because it doesn't take up as much of my time. So make sure you guys get on that podcast mini ebook and hit me up if you guys got questions. That's what we're here for. So anyways, we're learning everything we possibly can about this whole podcasting space. And one of the things was streaming to multiple platforms. So we were streaming to Facebook Live and we were streaming to YouTube every once in a while, but I had to figure out a way to do both. And I would see the big dogs do it, the Gary V's. Gary V does every morning. He does Tea with Gary V, and he's streaming to multiple platforms. And I'm like, how the heck does he do? How do they do that? And so I started researching, started asking some questions of other podcasters, and they recommended StreamYard. And I was like, oh, all right. So here we are with StreamYard. It allows us to do a bunch of cool little things. By the way, if you are interested in that podcast course, there it is right there. There's the information that you need on that. And so, it's all about learning everything you possibly can, modifying and adapting. I mean, you were literally just talking about that right now, about how people have been losing jobs or not being able to work from home or not being able to make that change, and you are able to modify what you're doing and change so that you can take advantage of the situation, so that you can turn around and, work from home.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the lucky ones that does have that opportunity. And not only have I been working from home, man, I've been thriving. I've been feeling just really good. I have been keeping up with my weekly planner. Right, I keep it right here on the desk next to me, and you can't really read it, can't really see it because it's all like super like small area that I'm in. It's like trying to get it all. But anyway, yeah, I've been keeping up with my weekly planner, keeping up with my goal setting. I found myself weeks ahead of my goals.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, I had things that I wanted to get done by the end of the month, and last week I was done with them already.
Speaking of that, like there's a lot of people right now going stir crazy. Like there's a ton of people protesting around the country
Oh yeah.
because they have cabin fever, they're stuck at
Mhm.
home. And I think one of the biggest flaws that people struggle with while they're at home is they don't have a schedule. There's nothing telling them when to clock in, when to clock out, what to do, when to do it, how to do it. None of that stuff is happening for them. And because none of that is happening for them, they oh yeah, check it out. Live viewers comment on StreamYard. Sorry. Boom. Sorry, I didn't know that was there. I'm just pushing buttons
No,
every
I,
once in a while.
I saw it. It's pretty cool.
But that is really cool. So I could probably do something like this. Let's hear your opinions. If that works. Boom. Yeah, there we go. So
Oh
that's really
snap!
cool,
That's
huh?
so
That's
cool.
really
It showed
cool.
up in Facebook.
Nice. All right,
That's
so
awesome.
like there's a lot of people protesting out there. There's a lot of people that have uncertainty, and I think a lot of it has to do with their inability to keep it to a schedule. Nobody's ever told them what they have to do and what they don't have to do outside of work. And so it's cool when you have a weekend or when you have like a couple days off, but when you add it over and over again, there's only so much boredom that you can take. There's only
Mhm.
so much Netflix you can watch or so much
Mhm.
YouTube you can
Yeah.
watch, and you start to go a little crazy. And this is
For sure.
one of those things that having an agenda, having a weekly schedule, having a daily schedule, and it doesn't have to be like super intense. Like for me, I've been using that weekly thing, but I have it on my whiteboard.
Yeah.
And it's really, I have 3 things that I need to get done this week, 3 major things that I want to get done. And from that, there's one thing today that I needed to accomplish. And for
Mhm.
me today, it's identifying my ideal client. Like I'm trying to really narrow down on what that client looks like, who's the person that I want to work with. And that's like that's my big thing to get done today. And if I get that done, that one thing done and nothing else gets done, I'm still going to feel accomplished. I'm still going to feel like I've completed my particular day and not had to worry about anything else, right? But there's so many hours in the day. I get that one thing accomplished normally on my schedule, and then I do a bunch of other things. And you're kind of
Mhm.
putting that fast forward effect in what you're doing. I think that's why, because you have this extra time and because you're prioritizing in order what things you want to accomplish for the day, you're weeks ahead on your schedule
Yeah.
because
No,
you conquer that one thing first.
right. It comes to, I mean, you were saying schedule. That's definitely part of it. My schedule has changed. I was getting up, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I was almost going to join you and Ollie and Kelly and the rest of them in the Justice League over there, and hop in on your 5 a.m. calls. But with everything that changed, I stopped getting up as early. Just because I don't need as much time anymore to kind of get myself prepared for the day. And, I'm getting up a little bit later, but I'm also working a lot later. So, like, my schedule changed in both of those areas. One is what time do I get up and get ready for the day? And 2 is what time do I stop working? And I have more than made up, the hour or two early in the morning with the extra 2 to 4 hours that I'm putting in at night.
Yeah,
So
I find that I am
exactly, Liz, full day work mode.
full day work mode. Full day work mode. I find that I'm done after, like, when I get off this podcast, I change, I go for my run, I come back, I take a shower, and I could get back to work, but I'm trying to force myself to spend more time, like, with the kids, or with the wife, watch some mindless TV or something, like something outside of what I'm doing, because I've been talking to so many people these last couple weeks, and the topic of death seems to be coming up lately a little bit more and more, because of things going on. People are scared, fearful, that sort of stuff. And so the concept of what happens when you pass away, what's that thing at the end of the day where you're sitting there and it's your last couple hours or your last couple breaths, and you're thinking to yourself, most people don't think, I wish I would have got more work done. It's usually something else, like, I wish I would have spend more time with family, gone on vacation, whatever it is. And so, I work a lot. I do, and I enjoy what I do. I love doing this sort of stuff, this podcasting, this commenting, this engaging. Yesterday, when I was sitting on the couch and the kids were playing their own video games, I still couldn't 100% get away. I hopped on Instagram and I was just commenting on everybody's stuff just to engage with people, because I wanted to make sure that I don't know, for some reason I can't 100% disconnect, but it's still fun. I'm still engaging. You know what I mean? It's not 100% work, yet it kind of is, right?
Yeah, no, I totally feel that. Basically, that was me on Sunday. I actually gave myself a weekend off, right? I did not work on Saturday, and almost all of Sunday I didn't work, but definitely by like Sunday night, I was like, you know what? Let me write out my my week planner. Let me do a little bit of journaling. Let me kind of, get myself in a good focus mode so that when I wake up Monday, I'm ready to rock. Like, I got my
100%.
plan. I got this thing going. I know what I'm going to do for the week. So that kind of leads me into, the second part of it. The first part is definitely the schedule, right? Scheduling and making sure that you're sticking to some kind of a schedule, whether it's sticking with your old schedule as much as possible or adjusting, either way. But the second thing for me, and the more important thing for me, is goals. When I talk about goals, I have my end game. I have my vision already in mind. One of the things that I started doing, I did it on accident on March 1st, and I did it again intentionally on April 1st, which was to close out the entire day. And I have a checklist of things that I want to go through to plan out my month. So, and one of the things that I do is I review my vivid vision. So my vivid vision is right now 4 pages, maybe more, of exactly what I want my life and my business to look like in 3 years. And I mean detailed, like, how much money am I going to make? How many employees am I going to have? What are these employees' responsibilities? Where do I live? Where do I work? What do I drive? Like, detailed. And what and the whole vivid vision, the whole thing is like what I want my life to look like, where I want to go, what I want to be. Mission statement is absolutely part of it. The why statement is absolutely part of it. And I kind of work backwards from there. So if this is what I want my life to look like, what do I need to do this year to put myself closer to that end game? And if that's what I need to do this year, then what do I need to do this quarter? And what do I need to do this month? What do I need to do this week? And every day, what am I doing to serve my weekly, monthly, quarterly, etc. goal?
It's the marathon, right? So you're literally what you did there was map out the track, right? So a marathon's what, 26 miles or something like that?
26.2.
All right, so 26 miles is this marathon that you're running. And so you know exactly what's going on the map. Next, all you got to do is track down each and every mile. Where's your little mile marker? And then focus on taking one step at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's all it really is. And we have all this extra time right now. It's crazy, dude. Like, I hear people complaining about, being at home. On the one hand, if your business is shut down and you're lacking on the income section, okay, I can understand that frustration. But there's always that, the positive perspective. There's always the other side. Like, I don't remember the last time I spent this much time with the wife and kids ever. Right? In a
Right?
consistent, everyday moment. Like, from the moment we wake up in the morning, I've had breakfast with the kids almost every single day, right? I mean, lunch with the kids every day. Rosa's been like one of the most amazing spouses. She keeps the kids like super entertained. I mean, we've done things where
Of course
like
she does.
we
She's
had
amazing.
yeah, she's amazing. Like we just the time at home. And this is one of those things where, the the jobs will come back. The income you'll find a way, right? But some of these moments you need to take advantage of and enjoy. We had a night where we did she went to the dollar store and got a bunch of glow sticks, and like we just
Oh
taped all
yeah.
the glow sticks to our bodies, right? And then we did like a night dance like that, right? She's
Did you
literally right
do
now.
did you do the peanuts dance?
No, we didn't do the peanuts dance. I should
Oh.
have thought of that one. We did right now she's working and she's creating this Plinko box out of because we
Oh,
ordered
nice.
some beach lawn chairs, whatever. And so she's using the box and she's gonna have like a carnival night for the kids this weekend. Like stuff like that. Like the creativity that comes out when I run in my route, it's obviously I can't go to the gym and run on a treadmill, so I'm running a route. I've seen more kids outside riding bikes. Like I was telling Liam the other day, that is what my childhood looked like. And when I was
Right.
a kid, like that's what happened. People
That's
played
what we
football
did.
on the street. People jumped
Yeah.
on their bikes. So, on the one side, we can look at everything as a disaster and how the economy shut down, how oil went to negative $35 or whatever it was, right? Like some ridiculous stuff that we can look at the negative aspect. Yesterday, for fun, I put on a news channel. And it was, the moment I put on the news channel and all it turned into was the Republican extreme are protesting in the streets. And put the other channel and it's like, I was like, dude, it's not that. It's not blue. It's not red. It's people. People are tired of being inside. People are done with this whole cabin fever thing. People are questioning whether we should have been locked in or not locked in. People are having opinions. Not red, not blue, just people. And like if you can connect with people, you can reach out to people. These people have, they may lean one way when it comes to money. They might be conservative or they may be, liberal when it comes to certain social issues. But guess what? Yesterday was 420. I bet you a lot of people connected in their own way, right?
In their own homes.
In their own homes. When 7 o'clock hits, it's not red versus blue. Everybody's cheering on people,
Yep.
There is, you can't always look at the definition of who's positive, who's negative, who's doing this, who's doing that. You kind of just gotta take a second in these moments, look at what's going on, and make a decision for yourself and those around you to move in a positive direction. To maybe like yesterday we had Alejandra talking about this is a perfect time to like retool, to get your skill set on, to get a certification that you need. And here is an opportunity where you can do that online so that you can prepare yourself for the new workforce, for a new model.
Right. I feel like we always have, two types of people. People that life happens to them and people that make life happen. And I think that this situation where we are right now, it's definitely something that highlights that. There are a lot of people out there that life is happening to them right now. And I'm not saying that, people don't have legitimate obstacles that they're facing because they do, but they are obstacles and almost everything can be overcome. There's so much opportunity right now with all this time that we have to just readjust. Like, look at the things that you're doing. I am telling you, like, I'm lucky that the business that we've built, I can run it from home, right? I don't have to be anywhere. But even the business that we've built, I have spent hours upon hours upon hours that I didn't have before. I didn't feel like I had all of this time that I do now, and just like hyper focusing on how to make it better. And if I wasn't doing that, and I asked Vanessa this the other day, I'm like, if I wasn't a businessman, like, what would I be doing right now if I was just getting paid, if I was if I worked in any other job where I was still earning an income but I didn't have to work, like what would I be doing? She's like, you'd have some kind of side hustle, so you'd be doing something on the side, trying to make some money, trying to make something else happen. I'm like, so you're telling me that I would still be a businessman? She's like, yeah, it's in your blood. you know so like there's so much opportunity right now, that if people are not seeing the opportunity, if people are just so focused on what's lacking, they're purposely, intentionally or not, but they are blinding themselves to the opportunities that are out there.
We become what we think about.
We
Right?
become what we think
become what
about.
we think about. If all we see is the negativity in the world, we're gonna have that negative output on everything we do. Everything from like, imagine if you go to bed thinking about something in a negative sense. You're gonna wake up in the morning. Well, chances are that night you probably didn't sleep that great. You probably were tossing and turning. Your mind was still in that negative sense. So when you woke up, you were tired and you were mad about whatever you were mad about the night before.
Yep.
Right. And then it kind of progresses. Then you stub your toe and it's, it just cascades from there.
Yeah.
Like
everything
spiral. In your mind continues to focus on that negativity when it's something as simple as a mind shift. And one of the easiest ways, by the way, if you're looking to shift that mind, is that attitude of gratitude. Like just, literally take a piece of paper, take a pen, and write down the things that you're grateful for. Like I used to think that was the coolest thing growing up. I hated that part of Thanksgiving. Like I love Thanksgiving. It's like my favorite holiday, right? All the food, none of the presents, none of the pressure. It's my favorite holiday, right? Right next to like the 4th of July, right? No obligations plus
fireworks.
Plus fireworks, right? But I always like that part where you walk around and where you go around and everybody says something they're thankful for. I always felt like that was so forced, and I don't like that kind of pressure on something that should be habitual in your everyday stuff. It's like one of those things where like I always get Rosa always picks on me or whatever, because I don't pray very much, right? And it's not that I don't have a connection with God or Allah or whatever you want to call it. Like I believe in a higher power. There's something more to this. There's got to be. I just don't pray because I find myself, all I end up doing is saying thank you. Like I feel bad for ever asking for anything or trying to influence me in any way. Like I have good things in my life. I have my friends. I have my family. I have, I have a roof over my head. There's nothing in life that I absolutely need. So why would I go to a higher power when I know that all I really need to do is go out there and get it myself? Like really anything you want in life, you can go get it. You can change what you're thinking, focus your attention on that thing that you want, not the things you don't have. Go after the things you want, right? Go after whatever it is that you want to achieve by becoming the person you need to become. That is the person that has that. Like look at yourself as already achieving that goal. What does that person look like?
One of my favorite practices in that is to think about why I want certain things. Like, why do I want, mom says that's the best prayer, of course. Why do I want to live in the park, this building, right down here on 6th Avenue, right across the street from Balboa Park? Like, why do I want to live there? Obviously it's a nice place or whatever, but like, what are the feelings? Like, that's the feeling of success. Just imagining myself with this big open space and thinking about this awesome terrace overlooking Balboa Park and hosting parties. And, like, I don't know, you can see and you can feel momentum of why do you want it? Like, name all of the reasons why this would make you happy. It's the moment I start thinking about how, that's when like the momentum stops. Yes. Right? I kind of get out of that spiral. The ball is moving, and then I start thinking about how it's like, oh crap, like how am I actually going to make that happen? Then it becomes more real. But even then, when it comes to the how, there has to be a plan, right? Yeah, like I feel like I have to make a plan. But if I'm thinking about the how from a negative mindset, I don't get the answers that I'm looking for. But when I'm thinking about the why and I'm thinking about all of the reasons why I want all of these different things and I feel really good about it, that's the moment that when I start thinking about the how, I have inspired ideas.
Mm-hmm. That's the difference, though, right? They're inspired.
Mm-hmm.
They're fueled. There's that. I think that's where like that passion comes from, right? It's the and you know when I talk about the Epiphany Bridge story, right? How you can pull a good interview from your guest, how you can tell a good story. Oftentimes, the hero goes on this journey and they come upon conflict, and they overcome this conflict, and then we get to the end of the story, and it's not always that the hero achieves whatever they set out to achieve, but good stories, whether or not the hero achieves that journey, is not the goal. What the goal actually is does that hero transform from who he used to be to who he is now, capable of achieving that goal, whether or not he's achieved it yet. And I think that's really where we come from. Like when you're talking about the how and the why, getting that why is that transformation. Who do we need to become in order to achieve that goal? Who do we need to become in order to achieve that level of success? Because once we become that individual, once we have those practices, those habits, those mindsets in place, then achieving the goal is going to be the easy part. Like the Earl Nightingale, put your goal before you. Don't worry about how you're going to get there. Believe me, that's going to show up in its own way, and it will. Right? If I could tell myself, if I could go back and tell my 25-year-old self, like, don't worry about the how. Focus on the who you have to become. Because if I could have become a different individual at 25, I'd be light years ahead today. Right? But we all at 25, at a young age, we focus on how we're going to get there. And the how never really develops because we're not the person we need to be. Like the door of opportunity hasn't opened in front of you because you're not, you haven't become the person you need to become in order to even turn that heavy door. Like you have to change as an individual in order to be able to see the opportunity. A 19-year-old kid walks out into the world and has no clue what they're doing because they haven't experienced life yet. If they could just focus on some individual habits, on things that they need to do going forward in life in general, the opportunities will present themselves. The how will show up.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true. It's basic law of attraction.
Basic law of attraction.
Hell yeah, man. You become what you think about all day long.
All day long. Doesn't matter.
All day long. Think about who you want to become. Think about who you want to be. Think about what you want to be. Think about why you want to get there. Think about how good it's going to feel. Think about all those things, and you'll attract those things. Think about how hard it is. Think about how difficult it is. Think about how you're never good enough. Think about how you're not going to achieve those goals. Think about how the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Think about how the rich are sleazebags and, dishonest and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know what? You're right. Either way.
It doesn't matter. That's why I like that Earl Nightingale. I got to listen to it again, but I like how he describes the mind. The mind is like fertile ground, right? It doesn't care what you plant in it. Whatever you plant in it, it will give back to you in abundance, right? So if you plant poison, it's going to grow poison. So if you plant those negative things in your mind will nurture those negative things and it'll grow those negative ideas in front of your life. But if you plant positive things, if you plant fruit, if you plant something that's going to benefit you in your mind, something that grows in a positive light, your mind's going to nurture that the same exact way. And you're going to get what you were looking for. You have to decide what it is that you're looking for.
Facts.
Ladies and gents, I hope you guys like this StreamYard. I really dug it. I like the ability to put up comments. I like the ability to play with banners. Again, modify and adapt. So far, what do you think, Ham? How'd you like it?
I like it a lot. It's interesting to have you on controlling those reins.
Yeah. Well, actually, once I give you the login, you'll be able to control that too.
Oh, there you go. Well, I'll get to that then.
Yeah. So
I'll be back to being the tech.
We dropped the link in the comments for the Earl Nightingale, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, sir.
So there you guys go. Make sure, by the way, you guys go get your free mini ebook. Look, I know there's a lot of you out there who are in a situation where you lost your job and you're thinking now's the time when I can start my business. Look, I've been there. I promise you I've been there. Or there's other people like you who've had ideas, who have this idea in your mind. You're like, yes, I have an idea. I'm going to start this business. And you have no clue what it's like to start a business. I want to open my door. I want to open my call to consult with you guys to give you an idea of what it actually takes to launch a business. Believe me, I do not wish that on pretty much anyone. So there are particular things that go on when you have a business. It's not, it's not rainbow and sunshine the whole time. There are things that you're going to have to implement. And I'd love to talk to you guys about that. If you're stepping into a new space, if you need a little bit of help, maybe some advice on what to do, maybe how to structure your company, maybe how to get started, I'd love to be that lifeline for you guys. You guys can for sure. Let's see. Let's remove these. Let's take these off.
Look at that.
So you guys can hit me up at Business Bros Pod on our social media pages, on all of them, and send me a DM and let me know if there's anything that you need from me. I would love to be able to talk to you guys. And again, remember, guys, I do have that mini ebook and I do have that course. $297 is a 4-week course to start your own podcast. If you're going to start a business, if you're serious about starting a business, you need to have marketing. Here's what happens to most people in business. You have an idea and you decide that this is going to be an idea. So you research it, and that's where most of you fall off. If you get past the research stage and you start to implement, you sell to your friends and family, you're close in a circle, and then you realize how difficult it actually is to get clients. So I want to help you take that next step to the next level, because that's always what happens. You get stuck at not being able to get new clients because you've already sold to mom, dad, Theo, aunts, uncles, whatever, and you're done with your sales. You can't seem to find the next client. Podcasting is the way to do it. It's how I prospect with every single client that I've ever gotten for the last 2 years. That's how it works.
It's true.
Every single referral that comes in has had some connection to the podcast.
Yep.
You need to have some sort of marketing and sales strategy when you start your business. So if you're going to get started, having a podcast dialed in, getting it launched the right way. It's a 4-week course to start it. So if you're going to start something new, I want you guys to check it out. It's $297, businessbros.biz/DIY podcast to get you guys started. And if you want to check out what it's like, that first mini ebook down there, businessbros.biz/podcast 1, that mini ebook is the first week of training for that podcast course. So it doesn't come with me telling you stories and helping you answer your questions, but it at least gets your show on the road. So you get the week 1 for free. So check it out. Give it a shot. That's businessbros.biz/DIY podcast, $297 for the course. Hit me up if you guys have any questions at Business Bros Pod. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And we're out.